What's up guys, the Lazy Goldmaker here, back with another update in my road to 100 million gold. Last week was the first 5-ish days of 9.1.5 and we had an amazing mailbox on Draenor. We're not going to hit that this week. So we're going to take a look at Draenor and talk about why things are different there this week for me specifically. And then we'll take a look at the overall numbers, but we'll take a little bit of a look on how legendaries have gone now that we're a little further into 9.1.5. Alright, so here we are on Draenor. And this week we just hit 1 million, or 1.1 million, 1.2. Which is, compared to last week's 6 million, obviously a pretty huge disappointment. But what can you do? Well, the main reason why my sales are pretty low, as you can see, there are certain items that have been bought out completely. I sold a good chunk of fairly expensive ones, including just fairly recently. Prices are still quite high on legendaries, but I don't have any. That's the big problem, because if we go here, Quartzite crystals are still at 700 gold. And I'm not sure I can make money off of that. I think for some of these I can, and for some of these I won't be making money. So I've been staying off. I haven't been buying Quartzite crystals. I think maybe I need to again, because they have stabilized in price. But how long are they going to remain this expensive? I don't know. So that's really where the issue is. Like, if you look at some rank 6 stuff here, maybe if we sort by this, we can get some rank 6s. We can see that, say, the Grim-Veiled Sandals selling for 43,000. I'd pay about 30,000 for a Vestige with 700 gold, I believe. So the Grim-Veiled Mittens, super worth it. The Belt and Sandals, not so much. Grim-Veiled Pants, very, very well worth it, though. So I think maybe I just need to pull the trigger and start crafting rank 6s again. And I have some, which obviously another factor here is that I have been slacking a lot more on the cancel scans. A lot more than I did the week before, so that's on me. And you can see how little, like, of Umbra Hide stuff, I almost don't have anything left over. Shadowgast, I have 1 each ring and necklace at least. I don't have much of the plate stuff, so I'm sold out and I haven't recrafted. That's pretty much the main reason. And that's gonna it's gonna take a huge chunk out of your sales. There's nothing to do about that, essentially. When you don't craft items for sale and you don't repost often, then you're not gonna have an amazing mailbox. But it looks like the market is still popping off fairly high. Obviously, part of the reason why I had such a huge week last week was because I had bought up a good amount of crystals and crafted a good amount of legendaries before the patch. But that's not the case this week, and I paid the price for it, and I'll probably just have to bite the bullet and get back into the swing of spending gold. So I guess that's what we'll have to do, and hope that we can still make good amount of money. I may have to step completely away from the non-charter domination slots, because it does look like a couple of those are fairly unprofitable, and I'll probably be a little bit more selective with exactly what slots I choose to restock. But overall, that is really the only way I can go. So yeah, now let's take a look at how the overall week has gone, and yeah. Alright, so here we are looking at the overall numbers, giving us, well, a little bit of a disappointment compared to last week. Well, was which I already expected, obviously. So last week we had 6.6, almost 6.7 million. This week we're down to 1.5, 1.2 on Draenor. Very small profit as well. I'm a little surprised about how low this is, because I don't really remember doing much restocking or shopping, but apparently I did. So what can you say or do? Nothing much. We gained about 453k, putting us just above 48 million, which is nice. We're very close to the halfway point in the road to 100 million gold, so that's pretty cool at least. And then for the rest, nothing much to say. This Doomhammer, this was just a bunch of relatively cheap battle pets. A huge number of cheap ones, same on Les Sentinelles. Just a good number of battle pets in the 5 to 15k range on both realms. So that's nice. I did just repost once on my off realms, so slacking a little bit there. I actually slacked overall pretty hard this week. I didn't do much reposting. I didn't do any real crafting. I must have spent some gold since we only made 174k. But yeah, overall a very slow week on the activity side. And a little bit too slow. So yeah, but I mean we're making progress at this point. As I said, I think on the last video, I think the main way that we're gonna make it close to 100 million is by going very hard at the launch of 9.2, assuming that we get stuff similar to Crafter's Mark of the Chain Dial and higher rank legendaries, and then just being prepared with a huge amount of whatever materials are going to be necessary and crafting as much as humanly possible for the first part of the patch, and trying to make something along the line of 20, 30, 40 million within the first couple of weeks, primarily on Draenor, which might be possible. I mean, it's possible. We made 6 million last week. We didn't even play that hardcore because I'm not much of a cancel scanner. I absolutely hate it, so I don't do it that much. That's really what we have to go for. That's really the way. I think I can get this number up for next week. I should be able to, just by reposting a little bit more, and more importantly, just actually restocking the legendaries that are selling, because there's a lot of them that are selling, a lot of them, and I've been stacking too much on those, which is my bad. So time to get your work boots on, lazy gold maker. Stop being so lazy is really what I have to tell myself, because this. I knew we were gonna go down. I didn't expect to fall this far, but and prices are still high, as we showed you in the mailbox and my sales results, specifically on Draenor. Like, prices are still high. I should still be able to make sales, so that's really what we have to go for. Go in and find those sales again. I want to bring this up above 2 million at least for next week. Hopefully 3. Would be nice to not take any more than 2 more weeks to get to 50, but we'll see what we can do. I don't even remember how many materials I have stockpiled, so we might have to spend quite a bit to get there. But that's the fun I get to figure out. So yeah, without anything further to add, I think this is it for me this week. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. If you do and you want access to, say, my full TSM setup that I've used to generate all of this gold, then you can become a patron at patreon.com/thelazygoldmaker. There's a link in the description. Join us there, or just like the video, and you'll get the next one. We'll see you then. Goodbye.